This is Alcester, a market town in rural Warwickshire. Like many other market towns, Alcester residents and visitors have enjoyed free car parking to enable them to shop in and visit the town. All that might be about to change. Stratford District Council have proposed parking charges for Alcester and a number of other towns locally. Local residents and business people are up in arms and are actively campaigning against these proposals.
I'm objecting. I'm just one angry resident of Alcester in a whole town of angry people who are objecting to Stratford District Council's proposals that all car parks in Alcester should be chargeable. Now, everyone here knows that there isn't a car parking problem in Alcester, but there will be one if we have charges introduced.
The overall effect will be that it will hit residents, it will hit our local shops, it will hit people that come in to visit from Ulster, it will hit our local economy, it will hit everyone.
This isn't based on speculation. History has shown elsewhere the damaging effect the introduction of car parking charges can have on local businesses. Richard Rogers, the owner of Ardent Activity Toys, based at Alcester, has seen this all before.
Well, we had a fairly successful business in Warwick. We ended up closing the shop Christmas last year. We had a business that was growing at around 16%. And at the third quarter, about August, September time, the council introduced new parking restrictions in Warwick, which had a very detrimental effect on our business. In fact, our turnover fell by almost 30% in the 3 months that those car parking charges were in. And we decided it was uneconomic to keep going.
John Bird, who runs Fab, a DVD shop in Ulster, has had a similar experience. His shop used to be based in Stratford.
I was there for about 5 years, and first 2 or 3 years were actually pretty good. I did okay, and then the new parking charges were introduced there about 3 or 4 years ago. And as soon as they were put into operation, my sales really suffered, about a 50% drop. And I just thought it was a blip, but they didn't recover.
Understandably, both businessmen are fearful of history repeating itself.
I have got concerns about the impact on my business, and well, grave concerns actually, considering what happened in Stratford to me.
Well, I'm afraid I'm worried on two fronts. I mean, first of all, I think it'll have a very detrimental effect on trade, and I guess we're in a good position to realise that because we've been through it once already. And I would also have concerns about the fact that employees in the town, particularly if they live outside the town, are going to find it too expensive to park their cars and work in the town.
I was horrified when I heard about the car parking charges. I'm a part-time worker, so therefore if I have to pay to park, then it's not going to be worth me parking, the same as a lot of people in the town. So therefore we're going to lose a lot of jobs.
I'm very worried about the impact of my business and other businesses as well in town. And I just feel quite simply that the charges aren't needed, they're unnecessary. And I don't even want to ask why they're being introduced, because I don't think there's an answer that can justify a reason for it.
Nor, it seems, does Stratford District Council. Councillor Chris Williams told the Ulster Standard, "The cost of maintaining these car parks is taken out of taxpayers' money. Therefore, residents from across the district are subsidising these car parks for the benefit of few." He didn't mention if the introduction of car park charges would lead to a tax rebate. 12 days later, he told the Ulster Standard, "There does seem to be a great deal of confusion for visitors to the district because parking charges are sporadic at best. The idea of the proposal is to standardise parking charges across the district." His colleague, Robert Walsh, then told the Redditch Advertiser, "The only place where charges are currently levied in the district are Stratford and Shipston." The group thought that was unfair, and they suggested that charges should be levied elsewhere in the district. People could be forgiven for thinking there was confusion over the reasons for this imposition of charges. Nina Knapman certainly thinks so.
Stratford District Council are proposing that parking charges are implemented in market towns like Ulster to support the local economy, and that won't support the local economy. What it will do is support Stratford District Council's own budget needs.
The most compelling argument seemed to be that that this was to recoup the cost of maintaining the 11 small car parks in the area. That was until people were told that the maintenance cost the council £260,000 a year. Not everyone was convinced by that figure.
I'd like to see the receipts, I'd like to see the bill.
We don't have to pay for the car park, so that's no charge. We've never, and I've consulted with many people here, we've never seen anyone patrolling them, so that's nothing. They're never closed for resurfacing, which might cost a few quid, yes, but we've never seen them resurfaced. Where's that money going?
I have seen quoted a figure of £260,000 as being the requirement to maintain these car parks in the district around Stratford, these 3 car parks. But in all the time I've been here, I've never seen any maintenance of the car parks going on, so I don't quite know. I think they must have plucked that figure out of the air somewhere, because it seems an enormous figure when there's nothing to show for it.
Whatever the reason, it seems clear that the only beneficiary would be Stratford District Council. Local residents and shoppers are all in agreement about the damage that it would do to business in Ulster.
I know that businesses are having a great struggle to exist in this town because of the economic situation. And I think that to have car parking charges, especially at this time, would be disastrous.
Well, it will make us think twice before we come, because we're in a situation where we're 10 minutes into Droitwich, not far from Stratford. We can come down to Alcester and we've got free, easy parking right on the periphery of all the shops.
Well, I think it'll cut down the number of people who come in to shop.
All the small businesses will be affected because people just won't bother coming here. If I've got to pay to come here, I shan't be coming here again.
I think it will be absolutely disastrous personally, and I say that sincerely. I mean, I've no special case to mark up for the Ulster traders, but I think it really will be pretty disastrous for them.
And what about the shopper who still wants to come to Ulster but is not prepared to pay extra for their shopping through parking charges?
I would go round and round until I found a space that I could park in, and if it took 20 minutes and I knew I wanted to go to a particular shop, that's what I would do.
I think it will cause a great deal of unhappiness to local residents, because they will find that all their little side roads and everywhere where there's a slightest opportunity to park for free will be completely stuffed with cars. And as I live down one of these little lanes, I'm dreading it.
Ulster is a quiet rural town, and people go about their businesses and lives in a peaceful way. You might expect then that the council could bring these charges in with little or no opposition. Amazingly, quite the opposite is true.
The response of shopkeepers and residents has been overwhelming. We've received to date over 2,000 signatures, and that's just in over a week. We can't afford to be apathetic. We have to fight this now. We have to say with one loud and resounding voice that the people, the residents, the shopkeepers of Ulster do not want the introduction of car park charges.
And this is where you come in. If you're a resident, a shopper, a business person, or you just support this cause, there are 2 things you can do to help.
We need everyone who would like to support us to come along to the next meeting by Stratford District Council to Elizabeth House in Church Street in Stratford on the 27th of this month, October. That's a Monday. The meeting is at 2 o'clock. We need everyone there at 1 o'clock.
But if you're unable to make that meeting, here's a really simple, quick and easy way to make sure your voice is heard.
Everybody's objection counts. Every single objection counts. If you have an objection against car parking charges in Ulster, you can email, if you have a computer, you can email to robert.walsh@stratford-dc.gov.uk. Thank you.